Hello, you're watching Proactive London. I'm joined by Dr. Anne Fellon, the Chief Scientific Officer at Benevolent AI. And you've just announced that AstraZeneca has added a novel target for lupus to its discovery portfolio. Could you start by reminding us about the collaboration between Benevolent AI and AstraZeneca?
Yeah, absolutely. So Benevolent and AstraZeneca started a target identification collaboration back in 2019, actually, looking at two indications then. It was IPF, or idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, and CKD, chronic kidney disease. AstraZeneca then extended that collaboration back in 2022 to add two new disease indications to the collaboration. So that was heart failure and, as you said, lupus. So all in all, over the last few years, it's been a 4 therapy area collaboration for which we've generated multiple target identification targets for their portfolio entry.
So, I mean, this is the second novel target to be selected this year. As you said, the first was for heart failure. So really highlighting the positive progress of your collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it speaks to the fact that Benevolent have generated this really diverse data foundation with multimodal data across all sorts of different disease areas. So we can really leverage the power of the interconnectivity of the data foundations to pull through potential target hypotheses irrespective of the disease. This has really paid dividends for AstraZeneca now for heart failure and now again for lupus, really exemplifying the value of this kind of unique collaboration, actually, where Benevolent have got the data foundations and the models to enable us to undertake the target identification. And AstraZeneca have got the disease area expertise and the capacity to really experimentally test these hypotheses and validate them to a standard that is, industry standard, such that they can take those targets into their portfolio.
And can you tell us more about lupus and how it's addressed by the Benevolent platform?
Yeah, so lupus is a really debilitating chronic autoimmune disease. It is a condition whereby the patients who suffer from lupus generate antibodies against their own tissue. And so it can lead to really devastating consequences in terms of affecting their joints, affecting their vital organs. And it can lead to chronic fatigue, and really it is a very debilitating condition. So it's complex. Any immune condition is complex. Autoimmune conditions are particularly complex. And so actually by building out the data in our foundations, specifically in and around these immune conditions, we are able to make kind of unforeseen connections between data. So there's the known facts, and then there's the inferred relationships that our AI models can sort of predict. And actually one of the key developments more recently in our platform is creating explainability around the hypotheses that the AI models are able to predict. So we can start to pull through evidence and data in support of these hypotheses that really helps the scientist make decisions, informed decisions about the quality of the target, the likelihood that it would have therapeutic value.
And so this all really demonstrates that the Benevolent platform can be applied across multiple therapeutic areas then, Anne.
Yes, absolutely. So we've got fundamental data foundations that span across a very wide section of the biomedical literature. We have all sorts of different modalities of data, so omics data, transcriptomics, genomics, chemical structures, compounds, and all of this in the sort of totality has been textualized such that we can use our models to reason over the data. Now, we may pull through very specific data sets to augment in a very particular disease space like lupus, but generally speaking, we already have enormous data foundations. So we can augment and supplement with additional data, but fundamentally the foundations exist. And it really allows us to pivot very quickly from one disease to another, because we've spent all this time really building these foundations with real precision and detail, actually.
Well, I hope you'll keep us posted on any further progress with that collaboration. And thank you very much for speaking with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Dr. Anne Fellon is the Chief Scientific Officer at Benevolent AI.